Thank you very much for considering reservation key. The purpose of this video is to give a brief overview of the system within a couple of minutes of some of the most commonly asked questions that we hear from potential clients. So here we're looking at a brand new account that we've just set up for a recent reservations user, somebody that was using reservations and is switching to reservation key. This is the screen that we call the availability calendar, and it's the screen that will be used most often once the account is set up. Just a couple things to point out. This 2 that I'm pointing to right here, that shows us a 2-night minimum on that particular date. We have an events bar up here at the top where you can type in different notes or things that you want to remind yourself of. We also have this orange bar, which you can put in a waiting list or various notes that are tied specifically to a reservation or to a particular date. To add a reservation to the calendar, all you need to do is click on the date and the room that you want to add the guest to. You can add multiple. You can click and hold and drag. So to add multiple rooms, you can, and then click Add Reservation or anywhere of that same color in the header. This is what we call the reservation details page. Here's where all of the information about the reservation would get saved. Here's the credit card section. If it was linked to, such as in payment, once the credit card was entered here, click Save, then go right here to Payments. There'd be another button in orange that would say Charge Card, and that would actually charge the person's card whatever amount was entered there. Rooms can be changed. You can change the prices on the fly. Add discounts, items for sale. These are all clickable. So that's the basics of those 2 screens. Once we go back to the main calendar, we can now see that there's our reservation. If it needs to be moved to a different room, we can drag and drop and confirm. We can actually as well change the colors by changing the status, like set it to confirmed. Now we go back, we'll see that it's green. Another point that we get asked about is iCal. So that's if you want to link to Airbnb or VRBO. We have a section here for importing. You just click Add and then type in copy your URL from Airbnb, and then that will sync. You can also set up a special schedule. You can have a different status just for those particular. So if you're having Airbnb, you could have one color for Airbnb and one for VRBO. You can also export. So take these links and copy them into your Airbnb account, and that means that Airbnb will pull reservations from reservation key into their system. Of course, there's reports, activity, many other sections here. We're only going to touch on the most commonly asked about sections right now. So over Website tab, Reservation Pages, this is the section where you manage your online booking engine that gets plugged into your website. So click the word Availability, and here we can see example of what we call our availability search mode for a booking page. So we can put in some dates, click Search, and then we can select which room or rooms we want. You can see the price, the description, the photo, click Reserve. You can hover over that. This particular account doesn't have any taxes set up, but if there were, there'd be another section here that would show taxes. That's a good example of this room. It has a restriction which it must begin on a Friday or Saturday. Various different restrictions that can be added to the system. We'll make a test reservation just to go through the complete process. We always recommend that whenever an account's being set up, make some test reservations so that you can see what the process looks like as if you were a guest. Here you can see that we've put the policies out onto the page so the guests can read through that before they click Make Reservation. This text can be changed. A lot of reservations users wanted this to say Send Inquiry instead of making it a confirmed reservation, and that's something that's easy to change, as well as these buttons that say Reserve. Those can be switched to say something like Add to Reservation Request. Also, this text up here at the top is easy to change, and you could also say something like, we will review all reservations and get back to you within 24 hours. So anyhow, let's make our reservation. It saves it. It would charge their card if a card were set up, and then it brings them over here to the confirmation page. This text is modifiable. You can add whatever text you'd like there at the top. Then there's a summary and the footer. Back in Reservation Key, there's a section here that shows number of new. You also will get an email notifying you of new reservations immediately. But here we can see here's that new reservation that we just made. New online, these two were the ones we entered manually. You can see the dates. And then click into it in order to review that reservation. You could change it to confirmed. In order to confirm it, under correspondence, it's possible to view what is in the history and queue. So these are messages that were scheduled to go out, and they will go out X number of days prior to the reservation, as well as after the reservation. And you can also see the previously sent section. That's the email that went out immediately upon making the reservation request. And if it had been open, this would have went to 1, and we could have hovered over it in order to see where it was opened from, what the location was. Emails can be sent manually as well by clicking send, and then just clicking send, such as sending a receipt. You can click edit in order to edit the email, add some personalization to it before sending it out. Reservations can be deleted by clicking more and then delete. All of the numbers showing on the page here are the prices that are set for the room. That's set under the Properties tab and Rate Plans. Each room can have its own rate plan, or if all rooms have the same rates, they can be linked to the same rate plan. So here we can see that the rates are set per week, and you can have different prices for each day of the week. And under stay requirements, you can also set up a minimum night stay, which, for example, could apply just to Friday and Saturdays, 2-night minimum. We have another way of setting rates called day by day. This is where you could actually type in the price for each day of the week, as well as the minimum stay in the second box, which turns yellow so that you can keep track of there's a minimum stay for that particular date. Finally, rate adjustments can be used for different holidays, just for temporary or much smaller rates. Taxes, fees, all of this, rooms, units. This is where you can set up your photos, your reservation page details, the description of the room. And finally, the last item just to touch on is the email templates and the website messages. That's under Website tab. Here's the email templates that come with the system with a new account, but of course you can add your own template by clicking Add Template, or you can click into it and then edit the text, and then that'll make a new template. Anything with these curly braces is what we call a merge code. We have many of them over here, and that code will be replaced with data from the system when the email is actually sent out. To edit text that appears on the page, that's under Website Messages. And here we can see that's that text that appeared on the top of that first page. Thank you, right there. So that's all easy to edit as well. The look and feel of the page we can customize to match the website, your website, or you can use one of our pre-built themes. We have a number of nice looking themes. So thank you very much for watching this tour, and we hope that if you haven't already, you will be soon signing up for an account with us. And of course, let us know if you have any questions about any of this, and we'd be happy to schedule a phone call or continue the discussion via email. Thank you.